For those of you who don't know me, I am a huge nerd. And of course, because I'm a huge nerd, that means I'm a Star Wars fan, in case that wasn't obvious. So, let's talk about Star Wars. Yeah, okay, when the first Star Wars movie finally debuted in 1977, it was just Star Wars. However, when he made his next movie, George Lucas, in 1979, he named it Episode 5. Yeah, that's right. Episode 5, which, if we're being, a little perceptive here, technically means the one before that was Episode 4. And of course, the next one he made after that was Episode 6. So what happened to all the beginning stuff? Like what's going on there, George? Like, come on. A bunch of people want to know what it is you're thinking of doing. And well, that was basically it for almost 2 decades. And then, once CGI was a better thing, George Lucas finally sat back down to his chair and went, I'm gonna make 1, 2, and 3 now. I'm gonna call them prequel trilogy, and everybody's gonna love it. And oh boy, he came out with that prequel trilogy, and everybody loved it. Not everybody hated it. Everybody hated the prequel trilogy when it came out, beginning in 1999. It was a travesty. All of the fans hated him. A lot of them basically claimed he ruined their childhood, so that's fun, that's real fun. And basically, he was bullied out of making his own movies, sold off the rights to Disney, and let them take control. Where in the world am I even going with this? What am I getting to here? Well, let me explain. When Disney bought the rights to Star Wars, everyone thought, okay, oh hey, look, they're making a new movie, Episode 7. We'll finally get to see what happened to all of our favorite characters. And everybody was happy. Not. Everybody hated that one too. You see, there's a thing about the fans. After those 3 movies came out, the prequel trilogy is loved now. It took like an extra 20 years basically, but everybody loves them. Sequel trilogy? Everybody hates that now. And that brings me to my main problem. Fan bases are ruining pop culture. And I know what you're thinking. What do I mean by pop culture? I'm referring to popular culture. It's the things that a lot of people like. It's not like a cult following. Everybody enjoys this thing. And the problem is, people are ruining it. And, sure, I talked about a set of movies I know that I appreciate, and I have dealt with a lot of hate in certain fan bases. You see, I think the sequel trilogy is great. I think it's fine. It's good. They're good movies, good watches. If I ever said that in a public setting around people who also liked Star Wars, I would be nailed to a cross. I would be the sacrificial lamb. That's not fun. That's not no. Don't want that. Hey. So let's think about this for a second. Sure, we got the movies, but let's take a deeper dive. Now, if I told you to think about the Dark Ages, what would come to mind? Probably medieval times. Like almost near the Renaissance, the bubonic plague hits, everybody starts dying. Yeah, because that's just what history considers the Dark Ages. I don't consider that the Dark Ages. No. The Dark Ages for me is 2017. On April 1st, 2017, the 3rd season of Rick and Morty came out. And I know what you're thinking. Why am I wasting my time talking about a TV show? We'll get to there when we get there. Shut it. So, what do I mean when I say the Dark Ages? Well, let me start out. Rick and Morty had somewhat of a cult following in the beginning. It was just a small group of people that actually watched that show. It wasn't like everybody knew it or watched it. But it took like 2 years in between season 2 and season 3. And by that time, a lot of people had caught on to it. So a lot of people were excited for when season 3 hit. When it finally did, things went crazy. We're talking about all of your Pickle Rick memes. Just pickle lick. All right there. And of course, in the first episode, they talked about Szechuan sauce. You know, the promotional sauce used for the 1999 Disney animated film, Academy Award-winning animated film, I think, Mulan. I could totally have made up that Academy Award-winning part. I don't know. But yeah, Szechuan sauce. And what happened? All of the fans demanded that McDonald's bring back Szechuan sauce. That's right. And what did McDonald's do? McDonald's did it. They brought back the Szechuan sauce for like a limited time. And so everybody was like, oh, okay, cool. Szechuan sauce. You know, that was mostly everybody, but there were still those groups of dedicated fans. And now we will be performing a dramatic reenactment. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I... Pickle Rick! Pickle Rick! I turned myself into a pickle! Hello, sir. Welcome to McDonald's. Pickle Rick! Yeah! Give me my food! Yeah, sir. What would you like to order? I'll get a 10-piece chicken McNuggets and let me get some of that Szechuan sauce. Yeah, pickle! Sir, actually, we don't have any, Szechuan sauce. So let me ask you, do you remember that part in history? Because I do. I still remember it clearly. I fall asleep with those memories. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. We've talked about movies. Okay, yeah, sorry, we talked about TV shows. Again. But what about the video game industry? I mean, video games are a big thing now. I mean, they are the most popular form of entertainment, both financially and just in terms of fan base. So, what about them? Have the fans ever ruined a video game? Yes. Yes, they have. So, let me ask a question. Who here knows Cyberpunk 2077? Boo! 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 You suck! Yeah, I hated that game. Yeah, me too. Hey, you two in the crowd? Stop it. Stop it. I'm talking. We don't focus on you. Camera back to me. Okie dokie. So what was I talking about? Let's get back into it. I'm talking about Cyberpunk 2077. What was supposed to be one of the most popular games of 2020. Well, early 2020. And then it got postponed. And, you know, everybody was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. But we need to go further back to 2013 when the announcement trailer was first, put out. It was just a basic cinematic launch trailer. There's nothing to get excited about. I mean, every single game has it. A lot of people were excited for this game after that cinematic launch trailer. I mean, more than a normal cinematic trailer. This was some impressive numbers they were pulling in with this one. And so, because of that, there's a lot of pressure on CD Projekt Red. For those of you who don't know, CD Projekt Red has actually made a lot of very successful games, mostly involving the Witcher franchise. Now, they know how to make a good game. Trust me. I mean, some of the scenes in some of their games are just beautiful, stunning even. I could look at that for days. Yeah. Forests. But let's get back to the main point at hand. At one of the E3 conferences, they showed off another cinematic trailer, and it showed a lot of things that would be involved in the game. You know, we're talking about, blade hands that'll let you crawl up walls, intricate parkour, amazing crowds. Keanu Reeves? Hello? Have you ever seen John Wick, The Matrix, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted and the Bogus Journey, Bill and Ted, and, the third one? I mean, I saw the third one. I just forgot the title of the movie. Keanu Reeves has done a lot of things. Well, He was in that game, and everybody was excited for it, and everyone thought it was going to be great, and then it got postponed. Everyone thought, okay, well, they just need time to work on things, work out a few bugs. Then it got postponed again. And instead of the fans being like, oh, okay, well, clearly they just want to work on the game. They want to make it the best game that they can. I mean, we didn't rush them for the other games. Why would we rush them for this? They did. They did rush them. They sent death threats to the individual developers. And fun fact, this team making this game was not as big as other teams for other major games. I mean, here, I'll put up a comparison. This is GTA 5 by Rockstar that came out in 2012, and this is how many developers worked on it. This is Cyberpunk. Here's all the developers. Hopefully that paints a clearer picture. Well, when this game came out, after it had been rushed because all of these people had received death threats, this company is about to go through something major, they released the game. And it's a gigantic, buggy mess. And so what do the fans do once that happens? A lot of them complain about it. And they complain and they complain and they complain and they send it back and they demand refunds, but they want to keep the game. But that's not how refunds work. And fun fact, most people didn't understand that. And so you had a whole bunch of people angry at a video game company for a game that they wanted to see that the video game company didn't even want to put out in the beginning. And honestly, I belong to the vocal minority in this situation. I enjoyed that game. Sure, it was buggy. It didn't exactly run the best, but it was a fun game nonetheless. I still go back and I still play it just because I find it enjoyable. And sure, some other people might not share in my opinion, and that's totally okay. But you can't overlook the fact that the fans kind of set it up for failure in the beginning. The expectations were too high. I mean, obviously we know the difference between a cinematic trailer and an actual gameplay trailer. And sure, they also released a trailer that they claimed was gameplay that really wasn't and was actually another cinematic. But we all should have kind of known. I mean, video game companies do that stuff all the time, and they've never complained about it before with other games. Sure, we might be a little disappointed about it, but we still go back and we still play them. Well, how come that can't be the same with this one? So basically, all I'm saying is this. The problem now with a lot of our popular culture is that we are ruining it. I mean, we want more than what's given. We complain about the things that we have, and sadly, we ruin it for the actual people who made it. I mean, let's look back at George Lucas. George Lucas sold the rights to Disney. His own intellectual property he gave away because he didn't want to deal with the fans anymore. The death threats. He wanted to go back to living a normal life, a peaceful one. And hey, that's what he has now. I couldn't be happier for the guy. He created one of my favorite film franchises. He created a lot of people's favorite film franchises. And sure, it might be in the hands of a company that owns literally every single form of entertainment. But hey, they're still making stories and they're pretty good. And so, us as fans need to look over this. Sure, things aren't exactly how we want them, but things have never been exactly how we want them. We need to look at art for what it is. Art. That's how people see it. We can't bully each other over it, and we can't bully someone to make something that isn't theirs. But hey, that's just my thoughts. I want to thank all of you guys so much for watching. If you're interested, like, comment, share. You can subscribe if you want. I really don't care. Because this is just meant to be a final. But it'll still be on YouTube. Because why not?